Speaker number 5, Reid Walley, Destiny. Destiny, Reid Walley.
Where does confidence come from? 1975, Long Beach, California. My family and I had just left the restaurant, and there are these two guys outside, and they're screaming at each other. And if you had been there, you would have seen my grandma, 5'0", 80 years old, march right on up to them and put her hands up and scream, "Just stop it! Just stop it!" Wow. Grandma's living the Nike slogan, "Just do it!" Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, astonished guests. Where does confidence like that come from? My whole childhood, I was a scaredy cat. I would even lie to my mom and I would say, "My belly hurts, Mommy, I can't go to school today." And she would say, "Are you sure you can't go to school today?" "Yeah, my belly really hurts, I can't go to school." The truth was, I was afraid of going to school and getting bullied. Until I turned 13, and that's when I discovered Bruce Lee. What? He wasn't just confident, Bruce Lee was screaming confidence. I learned how to kick like Bruce Lee. I learned how to punch like Bruce Lee. I learned how to scream like Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee taught me how to enjoy being active. Just like my grandma enjoyed being active. She was active her whole life. She did yoga every day. She went swimming a couple times a week. She even went hiking in the mountains whenever we went. Turns out my grandma and grandpa, on their first date, went hiking up Mount Wilson in Southern California. It looks like being active plays a role in being confident. But where does confidence come from? 100 years ago, in 1915, when my grandma, not my great-grandma, my grandma, she went to her dad and she said, "I want to go to medical school and be a doctor just like you." And he said, "Absolutely not. Women can't even vote. You can be a secretary, you can be a social worker, you can be a teacher. That's it." "Well, I'm going to go to school anyway." "If you go to school and disobey me, I will disown you." By the time I was born, Grandma had been a doctor for more than 30 years. Bruce Lee had trouble too. All of the heads of the schools of the Chinese martial arts academies went to him and they said, "Look, you need to stop teaching Westerners." Bruce Lee refused. He said, "I believe in equal rights. It doesn't matter to me what anybody's race is." Finally, the other schools got a guy and sent him over to kick Bruce Lee's butt. Bruce Lee won that. But where does confidence come from? It comes from choosing to do something that is really difficult, choosing to follow your destiny, no matter what gets in the way. It reminds me of John F. Kennedy's speech about choosing to go to the moon. On September 12, 1962, Kennedy said, "We choose to go to the moon, not because it's easy, but because it is hard." That is the formula for confidence. A little Nike, a little Kennedy. Just do it. Not because it is easy, but because it is hard. What do you remember about your grandparents? What sticks with you? And if you have grandchildren, what do you want them to remember about you? even 5 or 10 or 20 years from now, and your childhood heroes, what do you take away from them? Because my parents got divorced when I was 7, Bruce Lee became my father figure. When he said, don't smoke, I didn't smoke. When Bruce Lee said, don't drink, I did not drink. That's what I remember. And my grandma, when she was 85 years old, I was running out of the house, and she stopped me. She said, I want to show you something. Oh, Grandma, I'm going to go play with my friends. Just take a minute. Okay, Grandma. I'm going to show you a yoga technique now. Put your legs together, put your hands behind your back, and lean forward, lean forward, lean forward. Okay, now touch your nose to your... I looked over, and my grandma's nose was touching her knees. I still can't do that move today. And she was 85. This is what I remember. My grandma passed at the age of 92. 92 years young. But if she were standing here today, right here, right now, and you asked her, where does confidence come from? I know exactly what my grandma would say. It comes from choosing to go to the moon. It comes from choosing to fight for equal rights. It comes from choosing to be a doctor, even when your dad says no. Confidence comes from choosing to follow your destiny. Your destiny. Not somebody else's destiny. Your destiny.
Please may we have silence until all the judges have finished their ballots and they have been collected.